Hi everyone, this is Ravina. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to learn something really exciting and new in English. So without further ado, let's get started. As we are continuing with the types of nouns, so let's remember what is a noun. A noun is the name of a person, place, animal, or a thing. Let's have a few examples. Person, a teacher, doctor, engineer. Place, school, beach or mall. Animal, dog, cow, elephant. Thing, book, chair, pencil. Now that we know and remember what nouns are, it's time for us to move on to our next types of nouns, which are singular and plural nouns. Now, I want you all to look at this. This is one orange. And now let's look over here. These are many oranges. Do you see the difference? Let's find out together. A singular noun means only one. If I have one cat, it's a cat. If I have one book, it's a book. If I see one car, it's a car. So remember, singular means just one. Let's move on to our second type of noun, that is plural noun. A plural noun means more than one. One cat, two cats. One book, three books. One car, many cars. So plural means that there is more than one. And now it's time to move towards the rules for making many from one. So here comes our rule number one, adding S. Now how do we make plurals? Well, the first rule is extremely easy. We just have to add S at the end of every word. For example, pen, pens, ball, balls, toy, toys. Let's try together. I'll show you the picture and you will shout out the plural. Ready? Dog. Yes, dogs. Chair. That's correct. Chairs. Boat. Boats. Car. Cars. Tree. Trees. Great job. Sometimes we simply just cannot add S. So here comes rule number 2. If the word ends with S, X, Z, Ch or Sh, we add ES. For example, bus, buses, box, boxes, dish, dishes. Are you ready to try one? One fox. Yes, foxes. Church, churches. Wish, wishes. Well done. Let's move on to rule number 3. When singular nouns end in a consonant and the letter Y, they form the plural by adding IES. For example, penny, pennies. Cherry, cherries. It's your turn to try now. Baby, babies. Daisy, yes, daisies. Spy, spies. Here comes rule number 4. When singular nouns end in a vowel and the letter Y, they form the plural by simply adding S. For example, boy, boys. Toy, toys. Time for you to answer. Valley, valleys. Tray, that's correct. Trays, good job. So most of the time, we simply make a plural noun by adding S, ES or IES. But the English language has some rule-breaking nouns in it. These are the nouns that have their own special rules or spellings for making them into plurals. For example, some singular nouns ending in O form the plural by adding s or es. For example, piano, pianos, solo, solos, photo, photos. Now your time to continue. Memo, memos, kilo, kilos, video, videos. That's just perfect. Now let's add es in a few more examples. Potato, potatoes. Hero, heroes. Tomato, tomatoes. Here comes your turn. Echo, yes, echoes. Torpedo, yes, torpedoes. Domino, dominoes. Let's move on to our rule number 5. When singular nouns end in F or FE, they form the plural by adding VES. Let's hear from you this time. Let's have the examples. Thief, thieves. Knife, knives. Wife, come on. Yes, wives. Elf, elves. Leaf, leaves. Amazing. Just 3 more rules to go. So moving on to rule number 6. Some nouns that end in double F form the plural by simply adding an S. For example, cliff, cliffs. Earmuff, earmuffs. Foodstuff, foodstuffs. Cuff, cuffs. Playoff, playoff. Here comes rule number 7. There are some nouns that are really tricky and do not change. It doesn't matter whether we convert them into plurals or singulars. They will not change. Let's have a few examples for the same. Sheep, sheep. Fish, it remains the same, fish. Deer, deer. Aircraft, aircraft. Species, species. Moving on to rule number 8. Nouns that are in pairs usually only have a plural form. For example, jeans, jeans. Scissors, scissors. Binoculars, binoculars. Trousers, trousers. Well, if you ask me, my favorites are rule number 7 and rule number 8. They are not at all tricky and very easy to learn. So, finally, we are moving on to our final one, the rule number 9. Irregular plurals. Some nouns are completely irregular and do not follow any of the other rules. We call them irregular plural or mutating plurals. Let's have a few examples. Foot, feet. Child, children. Person, people. Tooth, teeth. Mouse, mice. Man, men. Woman, woman. Goose, geese. Ox, oxen. So these are the 9 rules that we have to keep in mind while we are writing or speaking singular or plural nouns in English. It's time for a practice game. So, are you ready for your task? Turn the following singular nouns into plural. Here are the words: boat, bus, penny, piano, domino, thief, cliff, sheep, trousers, foot, person. After you finish doing the task, you can have the answer. Do reflect on your learning, whether you need support, whether you've become a pro, or you still need some time. So now, as we are moving towards the end of our lesson, we have our quiz time. Let's see how much do you remember about the plural nouns. So here's the first question. What is the plural form of cuff? Here are your options and you have to choose the correct one. Number 2, what is the plural form of sheep? Your options are given over there. Choose the correct answer. What is the plural form of piano? Go through your options very mindfully. What is the plural form of scissors? I hope you remember the lesson well. I hope you did well in your quiz since you have understood the lesson. So now it's time for me to move towards the end. If you're liking and learning from my videos, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming back with more videos, more learning and more of amazing tasks and quizzes. Till then, bye bye.